Hello, everyone. We're back.
Hey, welcome and welcome back.
hmm So I know it's been a bit. We've had lots going on. I was out of the country for a while, and then we were actually both sick, and
Mhm.
just sort of life happened, and I wasn't able to get another one of these out. So looking through all of you guys have been awesome. The amount of videos you have sent me, it's incredible. I I hate to say keep sending them because there are so many. Like it can go on for a while. And what what we've done is we've had someone comb through them and take out all the little clips, the like little shorts and things from, I think some of them are YouTube, some of them are TikTok. And they just put them together. And I believe there are 10 of them. And we're going to
Okay.
react to them today. I called on my bestie over here to do it with me because it is much nicer having someone react along with you. It's just nicer. So,
Yeah, I've never tried to do a reaction alone, but I can imagine it would be,
yeah.
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 Have
Not as great. Not as amusing. So So, all right. Well, welcome to TCS Everyday Psychics. I'm Pam,
I'm Mari-Lyn.
and this is, I believe, our third installment of Unmasking Witchcraft. Now, there's
Yeah.
something that I do want to say because we've done a couple of these videos and we've had people say, I'm a witch and I'm offended of what you said. If it doesn't apply to you, then we're not talking about you.
Hmm.
That's what I want to say. There are nice witches out there. There are people who what we consider to be a witch are those who come and attack us, and we get attacked. That's who we're talking about. That's our. Do we know? Or I certainly know a couple of people who are witches, and they're good witches. But we're really coming to this series from the, I don't know what you call it, the mindset, the background, the experience of the witches we deal with doing this work. And we don't come across nice ones. We don't come across good ones. We don't come across those who are really fun and friendly and, are just sort of using their practice sort of the same way we do. So that's how we're coming to this. So again, if you get upset over something one of us says, probably something that I say, then we're not talking about you. Then we're not talking about you. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Hmm.
All
Yeah,
right. Should we just jump right in?
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, subscribe, like, share, do all that great stuff
Mm.
and comment.
Yes, please.
We love, love, love your comments. So, all right, here
Okay.
we go. And what do they mean by prophetic?
When you're under a prophetic witchcraft attack, you might feel like there's eyes on you, man. And it's very eerie. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. And I later learned that this was because of monitoring spirits that have been assigned to me. Monitoring spirits work in the realm of witchcraft. And they're like, you might say they're spiritual peeping toms. They're evil eavesdroppers. They're watching and they're listening because they want to trap you. They want to snare you, and they are kind of like satanic watchdogs. They're illegal informants. They're part of a demonic network that watches and reports information back to higher ranking demonic powers so they can devise their plans to steal, kill, and destroy your life.
All right. Um, I'm going to start out by saying she is pretty dramatic, that one.
I'm going to jump right in and say, you are right. I
And yes,
agree.
yes, I
Pretty,
agreed with
pretty
everything
dramatic.
I agreed with everything she said. I just not with quite such zeal or whatever, just
Mm,
the drama of that. Yes, and we typically don't use the word demon. But can some higher level witches use entities to spy on you, I mean,
sure.
it happens to us all the time, right? Yeah. So
I
yeah,
gotta say that
and
what she
witches do
said
it.
is possible, but it's not definitive.
Correct. I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And I I'm going to say that she is from a Christian faith because there was a not that there was a this fearish, like God-fearing feel to her. I don't know who she is, but that there was that sort of feel to it. Um, do they have, do witches, some witches, not all, have entities sort of do their bidding, go to watch you, come and attack you? Yes, they do. We've had those
Sure.
experiences. They absolutely do. Is it as one thing I'm going to sort of disagree with her on is like I can't remember what she called it, but like they come and they come and they watch and then they run back to you and spill the beans, like blah 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 blah. It's not quite like that. You don't get, it's not like Mari-Lyn told me to go to the grocery store and see how much something costs, and I come back to her and say, well, these are your options, and this and this and this. It's not
That
quite,
is what you made it sound like.
yes, she did. And it's not quite that. And witches do remote view,
Yes.
and we get that a lot too.
And that remote viewing has nothing to do with calling in
No,
anybody.
no,
That's all them. That
yes,
is all them. And it's disturbing and
yes. And talk
crosses a
about,
line that
yes,
is just not okay. I mean, all of it's crossing a line, but
yes, yes. But I do think, maybe not. What I was about to say, I even argue with myself over that. But when witches are either remote viewing or astral projecting into your home to watch you, those two feel differently from each other, and then those two also feel different than an entity coming and watching. There's a very different feel when it's a human. For me, for the way I distinguish between them, there's a much more solid feel to a witch being in your home than an entity.
yes. And I'm going to add that there's so many people that do not know when they're being watched.
Absolutely.
They don't have the awareness, the energetic awareness to know.
Yes.
There is that
Absolutely.
feeling. I mean, anybody knows that feeling of being watched.
Yes.
And so you might have that, what?
Yes.
But most people don't put two and two together to come
No,
up with magic.
no, very true. And it's all unethical. Some of it's immoral. There's some lines there that are being crossed that should not. And
Mhm.
other people's lives are none of your damn business. Stop.
Mhm.
Just stop.
Truth and right there.
Yes, truthing. All right, so that was one. Ready for
Okay.
another? Okay.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, that 49?
Nope.
Okay. All right, this is funny. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
I want to be clear. On the
yes.
inside, I am roaring with laughter.
Oh yes.
On
Oh
the outside, I have to maintain because I do not want to start coughing.
no. So Mari-Lyn she's over the cold or the sickness, whatever. We kind of had it at the same time. It got into her bronchial, though that word, tubes.
It's bronchitis now.
It's bronchitis. And so if she gets laughing or too expressive, she'll have a big coughing fit. So
Yes, and we don't want that.
we don't want that. So, um,
Wow.
I will laugh
Okay,
out loud for you.
thank you. Can I just say how much ego
Oh my
is
God.
involved there?
Yes,
Whether it's being
so
done
much,
in jest
so much.
or with the thought of
Well,
I'm really gonna do something here.
right.
Either
Yes,
way,
yes.
so
And
much ego.
and I get, okay, so my husband was the coach for years, 20 years, something like that. Both our sons were athletes, high school, college, like, okay, I get games make you nervous. You want your team to win, all of that. But what the hell? Take making some, and it had the number. I'm guessing that's the number of the player that she was like, and she was rocking and stabbing. It's like, are you enjoying this at all? Like truly, like sporting events, you're supposed to have a
I
good
want to say
time.
she was, oh, she had no
No,
awareness of the event she was at.
no,
She
bizarre.
was enjoying the ritualistic,
Yes. And the way she was rocking, I'm guessing she probably had some
probably,
chant or something going on in her head, some spell.
probably.
And you know what? 100 to 1, it made zero difference to whoever, like,
I
it
think the
made,
odds are greater than that.
yes, yes. Oh, yeah. 1,000 to 1, million to 1. Like, it made zero. For her to sit there and think, for anyone to sit there and think, uh, you're going to create an outcome or you're going to do so that, like, hello, no, you're not. And if it does happen and you think you're the one, I'm sorry to tell you, no. And let's even if we get past that part, who the hell are you to try and really hurt another human? Who the hell are you? I remember when my kids were in sports and one of the kids would get like hurt, whichever team, a kid would get hurt. And even as they were older, people would cheer. People would cheer that person, that child, or that just got hurt. It's just bizarre. You know what? Everyone has a job to do on the field or the court or wherever and everyone's trying to win and do their best. And
Mhm.
and yeah, I don't know. It's my first reaction obviously was to laugh because that is so stupid. But that lady has some issues. She needs some real therapy. If you're going that all out to hurt someone,
Yikes.
yeah, woof. All right. I don't think I'm not sure what else needs to be said
Okay.
about that. All right. Let's go on to the next.
Okay.
I believe this would be the third one. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Signs you are with it. You'll be
Excuse me.
animal comes to you.
Excuse me.
Crystals speak to you. Constantly see angel number. Mari-Lyn, I'm a witch. I'm a witch.
All right.
The- oh, that has to definitely come from some sort of
Okay.
Christian or Muslim or some sort of background that is not, some organized
Someone
religion.
someone has a very misconstrued
Yes.
definition of witch.
Yes. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would think people think we're witches, but we do.
Well, according to what we just saw.
True that. Right.
So I'm going to say that someone could fit in all of those categories
Mhm.
and not fall into any label
Yes.
of healer,
Right.
of spiritual,
Right.
of metaphysical,
Absolutely.
of magic practitioner.
Yes.
That
Talk about being in fear. You are in deep fear if you're worried about all those things. Or if you're thinking that, could you imagine being a child of someone who thought that and you found these pretty rocks and you brought them home and you said, Mom, look at it. Whoop.
and now all of a sudden you're labeled as a witch.
Yes.
Now, I believe that witchcraft has very recently, and maybe it's been since COVID, because there's so much, right? So much downtime.
Yes.
I think it's been really romanticized.
Oh, yes.
A lot of young people, I believe, have been really impressioned by whether they're truly witch practitioners
Yes.
or just someone who thinks it's cool to be called a witch.
Right. And
That they
I'm
have,
sorry, go ahead.
no, there is a lot of that, and I have the feeling that that's kind of where that
Yeah.
definition has come from.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to say, what I want to say is it's not just a belief. During COVID, we got called so often. Kids, it was from parents, or we even got some really scared kids that called us a few times that they had done something.
Yeah.
And most of it was more, they called in paranormal things, like, earthies.
Through anime.
Yes.
Through the doorway of anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were hopping there for a little bit.
We were.
Yes. Toward the end of middle to end of COVID. Yeah. It was, so it's not just, I want to make sure that it's not just you going, so I think that maybe there's, well, we've had a lot of experience.
Right. There was a lot of things that got
and kids were looking
rekindled
for
during
something.
COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids were and adults, there were adults that were doing it too, looking for some sort of control, looking for something to make them feel alive and human and just sort of
connected.
And connected. That's yes, connected. Yeah. And a lot of them turn to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, and no. And no.
And no. All right, let's see what's next. I think this would be number 4. Signs you're under witchcraft attack.
Signs you are under a witchcraft attack. You start getting tormented. You start having scary or disturbing dreams. Everything starts going wrong at once. Sudden, mysterious illnesses.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, and there are other things it could be.
So many things.
So, this is one thing that we deal with often is people will contact us and think that they're under witchcraft attack like that. And through the healing, we'll give them a healing because that's what they're asking for. And we give them that healing. And it really wasn't witchcraft. Sometimes, is there some of it? Yes. All witchcraft that sort of really takes hold and attacks your wounding. It just sort of amplifies your wounding. So one way or the other, you need a healing. But oftentimes it's not witchcraft at all. Your wounding is coming up and you might see something like this, or someone says, oh, it has to be, let's not take responsibility for our own life and let's just blame it on something else. and then it becomes sort of this, but most of the time that's like wounding coming up, things are happening in your life, you're unable to, maybe your coping skills aren't that great, or you haven't had, whatever. I mean, there are lots of things. So,
And
and
those are still possible signs that you are under
absolutely,
attack by a witch.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
so many more. There is not one
Yeah.
thing
No,
that is definitively you're under attack.
no,
Nothing. There is
No.
nothing
No.
at all.
And we have also come across witchcraft and the person didn't know it. Like,
Yes.
that, where it's like, oh,
Yes.
where did this come from? Like, we're giving them a healing for something totally unrelated. And it's like, ooh, yow, someone put this there. Oftentimes it's something that really didn't have an effect on the person at all. A witch did some sort of spell or curse or whatever they call it, sort of did an implant, and we take that. It really had no effect, but that can happen too.
It can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it just lays dormant until the moon comes up. Yeah.
Yep.
Woof.
Yep. Because any type of magic that is cast on you or sent at you, you have to be in some way a willing participant to accept that.
Yes.
And being in your wounding, unfortunately, being in your wounding, you let down all your defenses and you open yourself to it, and boom.
Yes. And I will say, it's in some cultures. Like, you think, why is this culture, why is everyone under attack? Why is everyone? Because they absolutely have that belief. And so they're wide open to that belief. They're wide open to receive and accept what's coming at them.
Right. Right.
And you do have to accept it. And there's lots of witchy ways they can get you to accept things, accept it. But usually it's through wounding.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes the witch doesn't even know what your wounding is. They're just doing some selfish something, and it just happens to land that time. I would like to speak to an honest witch who does nefarious things, put spells on people. I'd like to know, how often does it really work? If they would even be honest about it or even know. So, yeah, I would like to know that. So if any of you know someone, or if you're someone who sends spells out on people, whether it's for money or whatever it is, I'd love to hear how often you think that and be honest, how much you really see that person affected by exactly what you sent out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would.
Right.
Yeah.
On to the next, I think.
Okay.
Generational curses and spiritual.
Witchcraft is real. And the only reason why a generational curse is capable of plaguing an entire bloodline for centuries is because we are not equipped to engage in spiritual warfare.
Hmm.
Could you replay that?
Yes. Yes. I think I need it replayed as well, because there's something that's not adding up here.
Witchcraft is real. And the only reason why a generational curse is capable of plaguing an entire bloodline for centuries is because we are not equipped to engage in spiritual warfare.
Okay.
We're both a little stymied here.
Well, I don't agree with her verbiage.
I don't either.
However,
That's what's stymieing me a bit is the verbiage. However,
I hate to say that I do believe that a generational curse can affect the bloodline. going on and on and on and on and on. It's because the inability to take personal responsibility and heal your wounding.
Heal your shit, people. Yes. Yes. And it's really very much like any emotional, like I don't want to piss people off when I say this. So like depression. I'm going to use this as an example. Can depression run in families? Yes, it can. However, one of the things that gets passed down is the belief in I am depressed and there's nothing I can do. And the sad and everything that goes along with that. And you pass that belief system on to the next and the next and the next. And
so if you have a curse and that curse is taught,
yes,
we are cursed.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Not only is it going to survive, it's going to grow. It's going to expand.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But not because we're not equipped to engage in spiritual warfare.
No. To me, spiritual warfare, that says kind of what we do. At times we have to sort of, people call us in because they've got entities, they have witches, they have stuff going on in their home that's attacking them. And we come in and we close that door. We come in to say, it stops now. That's a form of spiritual warfare. We are going up against them and saying, not happening anymore.
So I guess her verbiage. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would use that verbiage. And I don't use that verbiage. That's not verbiage that
I wouldn't use that verbiage.
Right.
When I think of, go ahead.
When I think of spiritual warfare, I think of something different than the way she's using it.
Magic has so much ego involved.
Oh, yes.
And that's exactly what this generational wounding happens anyway.
Yes, it does.
You add a thread of possible witchcraft in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Own your shit.
That's really what it is.
Take responsibility.
And
heal.
And find who you are. When you find your true nature, when you find who you are and you stand in that ownership.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's easier said than done, I know.
Yes. And when you heal and you are involved in something, not everything is generational.
No.
Not everything is. And I know that there are people that believe it to be true. It's not.
Yes.
But when you're able to find yourself and start healing and take responsibility for you in your life right now.
Yes.
It helps everyone else down the line.
Yep. It does. Yes. Yes. Because there is an energetic piece to it. 100%. 100%. And with every energetic piece, we have to decide to accept that or not accept it. And we have to decide to do something about it or not. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and that's true whether you're talking about accepting magic or healing.
Absolutely. It's all
doesn't matter.
It's all energy.
All energy. Yeah.
100%. 100%. So,
yeah,
that was a good one, actually. That was
a good one.
Yeah.
That was like, wait a minute. What?
Can I say that again? Yes.
It just didn't, her verbiage just so threw me.
Yes. Yeah. So if spiritual warfare means, now, if in context to what she said, If spiritual warfare means, yes,
Good point.
that I'm going to find out who I am, and that only comes from spirit. And whatever verbiage you want to put on God, spirit, the universe, Gaia, whatever, when you can tap into who you really are and put your foot down and say no, I can see where that would be a spiritual, you could call it that.
I got the hit. That is not what she's talking about at all.
Oh, what did you get?
Well, I don't have a definitive,
Mm-hmm.
but she's talking about fighting fire with fire.
See, that was how I took it the very first when she said it. Yes. Yes. We don't even do that when we go in
No.
and clear things up. Yes.
Because there is two vibrations. There is
Yes.
fear and there is love.
Yep. Yep. And we're working in love, baby.
We work in love, and that is the only way
Mhm.
to overcome fear.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Bottom line.
So now witches with each other, ooh, that there's some spiritual warfare. That when I think of spiritual warfare, they're like they battle the shit out of each other. I mean, they go they're in it to hurt each other, to ruin each other's lives and so forth, and other people around. Yeah, it's awful. It's gross. All right.
Interesting.
Whew.
Okay, that was good.
That was a good, that was my favorite one thus
That was
far.
good.
One that really got me to think the most.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do another one. 5 tips for beginner witches.
5 tips for beginner witches. You don't have to start with crystals. There are some paths where crystals are not a big thing at all, so don't feel like you have to use crystals if you don't want to. Don't spend all your money on expensive supplies. Witchcraft is all about intent, not about how expensive your items are. You don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds on witchy supplies. Everyone's path is different. Don't listen to the masses when they tell you that you're doing your path wrong. Every single witchy path is different. It's important to listen to elders, but know when you're being gatekeeped. Don't assume all witches are Wiccan. While they are similar, witches, pagans, and Wiccans are actually all different paths. Research more about each path before you start calling yourself one or the other. Don't jump on the witchy aesthetic bandwagon. Sure, the aesthetic looks cool, but most of what witchcraft isn't what you see on Instagram and TikTok. Always be genuine in your approach to witchcraft.
Well,
That is not what I was expecting.
me either. And yeah. I mean, that can apply to what we do. How many times do we tell people very similar about your spiritual path is your own, and you find your own, and you don't have to have a bunch of expensive tools. You don't have, I mean, yeah.
And for the record, runes do not mean witchcraft.
No.
She had a picture of runes back there.
Oh. Yes.
I'm a little bit mind fucked right now
Yes.
because I was not expecting.
No. And yes, it is about intent. She got that right. I mean, like, that could really apply to a lot of things, not just witchy stuff.
Anything.
Yeah.
You take out her descriptors, witchcraft, Wiccan, pagan.
Mhm.
Okay. Healer, psychic, medium.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are all different.
Yes.
Each path you need. I mean, I don't need to go into all that. I'm just stymied. I am so blown away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just, I really hate to say this, but that's just good life advice.
Absolutely. 100%.
It is just good life
Yes.
advice.
Now, she's someone that I could probably get along with. I don't know if she calls herself a witch or not. I think she probably does.
I think it probably would depend on what her intent is in her practice.
Yes. Yeah.
But
It's everything she said was absolutely true.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the aesthetic, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't have to fall into I have to wear this or I have to have this or no. You
I have
don't.
to look this way. I
Yeah.
have to.
No. Ready
Yeah.
ready for the
Let's
next
let's let's move on.
one? All right, I lost track somewhere. I think this is
Do you
next one.
remember Stump the Jock?
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Well, because it's decades old.
Yeah, but it sounds awfully familiar.
It's like you ask, they would ask this. I don't even remember where it came from, but they would ask the guy a question and he was supposed to know it. And when he got stymied, boy, it was hilarious. Well, I feel like I just got stumped.
Nice.
As we're unmasking magic here.
Yes.
And we get this clip and it's like,
The clarity was
and
yeah.
you got to say, well,
The
damn, that
truth.
was good advice.
Yeah. Truth is truth. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope more people listen to her. People that are going into whatever it is, witchy stuff, they listen to that. Listen to that. Yeah. And now she could go off, if we listen to her more, she could be totally off the rails. I don't know. But just from that clip, she
Yeah.
sounds very reasonable. And yeah,
Yeah.
truth is truth. my
Truth
friend.
the truth.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, next one. Are witches real though?
People think witchcraft isn't real. Okay. Give me a piece of your hair. Find out if witchcraft isn't real.
Here's a handful of pubes. See what you can do with this.
Okay, okay. Whoever put that clip in there, you know our sense of humor so well. Like that was so not offensive. That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
That was really funny.
And no, I'm not giving you my hair.
No, no. And that is one thing that witches do with spells and curses and whatever. They get a piece of you. They'll go through your garbage. They'll whatever, which would be murder for me, right? Because my hair falls out constantly. My hair's everywhere I go. You know where I've been. You could get some of my hair.
Yeah, my husband will be like, "Oh, Pam's been here, huh? Pam was over today."
Yep. Yep. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Woo.
Wow.
Woo. Ha. And that well, I wouldn't be I'm not afraid of them, but certainly that little girl with you saw her ego if she was like, okay, then give me some of your like she was just so
Yes.
ego driven that she
Yes.
is that person is going to get her ass whooped
Yes.
energetically. Like spirit, someone is going to put her in her place and it's going to smart.
Yes.
Going to
I
smart
agree.
bigly. Yeah.
I agree.
So
And yeah, please don't give your hair. Please don't give your blood
yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
First
of all, doing it first of all, you're giving permission. You give them any sort of anything, even I don't know, a grocery bag. It doesn't matter. You're giving them permission. You're allowing them to energetically come into your space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's never a good idea.
and I don't care.
And I don't care if you're a psychic. I don't care if that person, whatever that person, no. Because that's
It
really
doesn't matter if it's for good, it
Nope.
doesn't matter.
no,
Mm-mm.
no. This is not just in that situation. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. All right.
Take ownership of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoo! Whoever said
that was
thank
funny.
you. That was really, and I love, it was like, was he have like a wig in his hand or something? All right. Let's try next one.
Okay.
Simple protection spell. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all just ever have someone that you know is wishing and bringing negativity upon you and you just need them to leave you alone? Like now, right? I got you with this really simple protection/banishment spell. Follow. What you'll need is a small jar with a cork, 7 needles, rosemary, a pen in either a bay leaf or parchment paper, and a black candle. Write on the parchment paper or bay leaf the name of the person or people that you're needing protection from. When you're done with that, fold the paper away from you 3 times and place it into the jar. After that, you're going to pick up 1 needle. Needle at a time, you're going to state something like, I need these people pretending to be me away from me because they are causing harm to my livelihood. And say something different with each needle. When you're done, place the rosemary at least halfway up the jar and then cork the top.
All right.
Okay, first of all, those weren't needles.
No, they were not. No, they were not. Those were pins. I think there's an actual name for them with the things on the end, right? I don't know. Anyway, what happened to just using your words? What happened to owning your shit, to just standing here and say, hey, whatever you're doing, I don't particularly care for it. I'd like you to stop.
Right?
Hello? Like we're adults here. This is, why would you go and that shit doesn't work. So it just doesn't work. And I know people are probably out there screaming, yes, it does. Okay. One thing we often talk about with
Well, not if you don't use needles.
I know. Yes, those were not needles.
Oh my God. Sorry.
No, it's just something that we always talk about because of what we do for a living. As soon as you say you need protection, you have changed your vibration to attract things that you need to be protected from. I don't care all those words that you put, those pins in the thing. Straight pins, I think they're called. That it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Use your words. Grow up. Seriously. And use your words and say, no, this is not.
How exhausting.
So exhausting. Yes. And then when you're supposed to carry that around all the time, and that gets you to think about it all the time. It gets you ruminating about it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That is just so, see, that's the type of witchcraft. It's just silly. It's just silly.
What if I'm out of rosemary? Can I use thyme? Parsley, sage, basil.
And a needle. 5 or 7 or whatever it was. Like, come on. Oh my God.
Woo!
That's the kind of stuff. Why are you spending so much of your time and energy on that? Really? Like, serious, like, right? Like, okay, so you don't care for someone. Maybe you have a bully in your midst, whatever. We've all had that happen, like at a job or whatever. The best way to handle a bully is to tell that bully to back off. I'm not having it. And then you leave it there and you walk away. The more you think about it, you're carrying that thing around and you're thinking about it and that's only drawing it to you more. I mean, it's just silly. This is just, oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. I really don't have anything else to say about that unless you do.
No.
How to curse someone.
Oh dear.
How to curse someone, hypothetically speaking, of course. They say curses are just superstition. That's what they told the last person who tried this. And well, you know the rest. You'll need 3 things: a strand of hair, a name written in ink, and a drop of your own fluid. Not much, just enough to make it personal. Step 1, At exactly 3:03 a.m., place the item on a surface, light a black candle, and let the flame flicker against their reflection. If they're not nearby, write their full name across the glass. Step 2, say exactly this: do not mess it up. I trade peace for justice, silence for retribution. Let them feel what they gave. Then smear the fluid over the name and break it, but only once. A single fracture is enough. Within a few days, they'll begin to notice keys vanishing, mirrors randomly cracking. Maybe some people may start vanishing from their life. But remember, curses are not without risk. And if someone ever curses you, well, that's a different ritual entirely, probably.
I'm not even sure where to start. Although I loved all the pictures. All those pictures were awesome. I'm not even sure. Again, obsessed much? Like, get the fuck over it. And why are you cursing someone? Like, what is that?
Well, that was done in jest, right?
I don't know.
I think that was satire.
Was it? Okay.
I took it as satire and I thought it was hilarious.
Okay, well, if satire is hilarious, if they're serious, get in your own lane. Just mind your own damn business. Get over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, though, even if it's not satire comes from somewhere, right?
Yes.
Satire, there had to be a basis for that to happen in the first place. And here's the thing, the more you spend time thinking about someone, the more it's like a volcano, and the more it just bubbles and warms up and becomes an obsession and part of, like, adults, come on, use your words. No, there are other ways. And yes, there's going to be someone that said, well, I used my words, or I knew someone that did that, and then it just got worse. Well, you think a curse is going to make it better? No, it doesn't. For anyone and for you, why do you want to spend that much time? So, it just came to mind is trauma bonding.
Yeah.
There's some trauma bonding there.
Yeah.
Possibly on both parts or just your part. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically, there's, I don't know what I'm going to call them, threads, right? With energy threads that run between people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start going down the road of this kind of rumination and plotting,
yes,
that little thread just grows.
yes.
And
other little threads
energetically
wrap around it, and it becomes a cluster.
really gross monster.
Yes.
Like those pictures that were.
Yes.
Someone's drawing was really good in that.
I loved all those pictures.
Boy, that's a lot of energy to spend on.
Oh, it feels so exhausting. The whole thing feels so, to put that much energy into another person is just exhausting.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, there's some trauma, there's some
Take
wounding.
some responsibility, do some healing.
Yes.
Stop being so codependent with people.
Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Dude.
Yeah.
Woo. And you know there are practitioners out there who make money. A person comes to them, this person who's in some sort of, they're codependent, they're trauma bonding, they're in their wounding and their traumas, etc., blah, blah, blah. And they go to a practitioner to do those things. And people take money to do those things, to put those spells and everything. It's just gross. It's so disgusting that practitioners out there take advantage of these people at their weakest moments. And they just take your money and gross. They need healing. That person needs healing. The person absolutely needs healing. Yeah. Whew. Okay, I think that was number 9, so I think there's one more.
Okay.
5-way. Oh, to remove curses.
If your life feels like a horror movie, you might be under a curse. Let's fix that fast. Curses have been around since ancient times, but breaking them doesn't require a time machine. First, identify the curse. Is it a string of bad events? Feeling unusually drained? That could be the sign. Next, cleanse your space. Light up some sage or incense. Walk through your home, letting the smoke touch every corner. This purifies negative energy. Then try a salt bath. Salt's been used for centuries to ward off evil. Toss a handful into your bath water and soak in it. Feel the bad vibes wash away. Finally, don't forget the power of a good old-fashioned talisman. Carry a piece of amethyst or black tourmaline. These crystals act as your personal bodyguards. Remember, belief in your own power is key. You've got the magic within you. Ready to take control? Go on, break that curse.
The end.
There's a little bit of validity to
Yes,
a little bit of what she said.
right? So we do some of that. I don't use any kind of incense or sage or anything like that.
All sage does is make your house smell and
Ugh,
makes you cough.
yes.
It makes
Yes,
my
yes.
house smell, makes me cough, gives
Yes.
me a headache. It's not the sage.
No. It is like that other one. It's the intent. And if that makes you feel better to use the sage and whatever, we always say, fine. I mean, it's your home, it's your ritual, it's whatever, but it should be something that you do with yourself and your home all the time, is keep that higher vibration, keep the love coming, keep the gratitude, whatever that higher vibration is. That's beautiful to do that. And really that's what it is about. When she talks about it's so weird. So we just went from breaking those curses. Okay. There are times when you need more than that, when a witch has done something. We've helped people that needed
Yes.
more than that. They're just not capable of keeping that level up. They're not, they're still learning about themselves. They're still learning about their worth and ownership and so forth. And that's what we help people find. And once you find that shit doesn't affect you. But
I think
curses.
I think the most valid point that was made in that whole video was at the very end, is take ownership of yourself.
Yes.
I don't remember what her verbiage was.
Yes.
But getting rid of a curse by yourself ego is too involved.
Yes. Yeah.
Ego is too involved. There's healing because the curse gets attached to wounding.
Yes, it does.
It does. And it doesn't matter if it was meant for you or your neighbor and you happen to just walk into it.
Right. And the salt piece, you still have to infuse that salt with your intention, with the high vibration. And a lot of people are not taught how to set intentions. What is an intention? How do you set it properly? And
most people don't know how to get to the vibration that's needed for salt to do any purification.
No.
It's not as simple as that just made it sound. Sorry.
Yeah, no, correct. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, thank everyone. I thank everyone for sending those in. I don't know who did and again, we've had a lot of stuff come in and so grateful. Thank you. You were going to say something and I cut
I
you.
was. So how do you break a curse? You go to tcseverydayspsychics.com and you reach out.
Yes.
You reach out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now personal healings do cost money. However, if you need your home cleared, because you have some activity going on, whether that's witchy or paranormal, which you can kind of put those in the same thing, but if it's, those clearings are always free. So, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, they are.
Thank
All
you
right.
again. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please leave your comments. Tell us what you think. Let us know. And we hopefully our intention is to not wait so long to get the next video out.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for all your support and thank you for waiting. Shit
Absolutely.
happens. Life
Yeah, it does.
life gets ahead of us sometimes.
Life happens.
Yes.
Thank goodness, huh?
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.